Boy, I tell you, it is good to be back. We're doing some tests here, and I'm actually boiling some quinoa off the grid in my first series of videos since the shed has arrived on this historic day of October 22nd, 2016. We're recording with all natural light, real casual today, nothing major, as I get back in the swing of things. Got the sun coming in here, and it's nice to have that option. I'd like to shine some light on some things for you. You've heard me discuss a cyber attack recently. You can read some of the reports. I mentioned initially when I did my video that there was a media blackout. Not anymore. Hillary's already commented on it and said it could be China or Russia. Just because Hillary Clinton is a propagandist doesn't mean automatically that we know for sure with facts that foreign governments aren't somehow involved with our own intelligence agency and basically setting up the American people for a fall. I believe that is the agenda. I believe that these governments are working together to fuck us. And problem, reaction, solution, inner martial law, inner foreign troops. Question is, are you prepared? Now, I'm not going to try to sound cliche. I'm going to go over some really basic fundamentals and concepts. Basically, what happened recently is a wake-up call, red alert to Americans. So think about that. Think about something like PayPal or major websites going down major bank accounts for extended periods of time. Nukes haven't been dropped yet, but something done to destabilize American cities so looting occurs, problem, reaction, solution. The people, they have access to their friggin' bank account. What do you expect them to do? They're going to do anything to eat. People being forced into a situation because financially they're starved out. This is a very likely potential. And other governments could do it and think about this. This is how it's allowed to happen. What are we doing with so many Chinese computers? What is the United States doing with the technological infrastructure, and they're also building up a robotic army that they said as far back as 2012 that China could hack it? As we see the Samsung Galaxy 7 made in China blowing up. Why is that happening? They've had years to figure this. We've been set up for a fall. And what happened was a trial run. Maybe they want to see how much panic was going to take place in a few hours. Oh, but Anonymous claimed they did it. Yeah, an anonymous source claiming to be this anonymous group did it to support Assange. Then Assange bounces back, saw somebody retweet Assange's words. Wiki bullshit, WikiLeaks. Alright, you made your point. Turn the internet back. Like literally, supporters of Assange did this. To build up the Assange Messiah Neo of the Matrix as he takes on Agent Smith. It's Assange. And that's what all this has become. Or is it Donald Trump the one? No, he's the Messiah coming out of the water. Yes, they can use this for war. They can use this for war, more cybersecurity, control over the internet. A lot of different things. This is happening as they're supposedly hand over the internet to the UN. And I'm going to do a video getting into some more details regarding that. It's happening after I had a scare. My PayPal isn't accessible. A couple weeks, ironically, just a coincidence, that I had an issue with my YouTube channel after it was attacked. Came back, and the PayPal came up, and I'm like, boom, these are both occurring in a short amount of time. Alex Answer's taking note. Alex Answer's going to do a video. It doesn't mean the sky is falling. It means I've been warned, and you've been warned. So it comes down to some basics. Do you have enough food on hand right now? I know what I did back in 2011 with hundreds of pounds of food when I got ready way in advance, and I couldn't carry that stuff in a backpack in my travels when I left Portland the first time in 2011. That's friggin' ridiculous. So the food's no longer accessible, but I can start all over from the ground up. So I'm thinking about things like that. I'm thinking about the water, and I picked a place to reside that is going to have less problems than other areas regarding looting and regarding certain urban problems that will occur. But it doesn't mean that there is a complete guarantee that there will be no problem. But I'm noticing how I'm now beginning this off-grid experience right as major events are taking place in the world. And I am so grateful that this is the time that I'm settling down. So I think people should take a look at this, whether you're going to stay in the city, and some of you are invested in your home. Do you have the proper security measures in place? Do you have a plan in place for your family? Because if you're dealing with issues like this, where you can read the specifics online, but there's like this one company that all these websites are dependent on. And if that one company is bombarded with these bots that are sent out to overload it, and there are some specifics given in the articles about, webcams and videos and things that take a lot of data, it was overriding it by making it handle all of these gigabytes per second. So it was like, oh my God, overload. So you're having these internet blackouts occurring in different places in different times, West Coast and East Coast, and then it came in waves after my video. Going on before I even made the video, but I was like, I made that right in the middle, and it could still be ongoing. One thing's for certain, they've prepped the American people for this. They've prepped the American people for currency wars, robot wars, economic wars, space wars, riots, race wars, and constant bombardment of the Middle East, and acting like there's hey, we all know you're pissed off at the government, regardless of who you're voting for, if you're voting. But if you're voting for anyone, these people don't care about the civilian death toll. Karmically speaking, that's bad mojo, what's been done in our name for so long, and you know it. You've been warned, and I've been warned. They can cut people off from a situation where they rely on buying and selling, regardless of who's behind it. Buying and selling online. It's like oh my God, it's like our own digital apocalypse. Or Armageddon. And a lot of people would be affected that depend on that money for their food, for their livelihood, for their gas, for basic things. So, in this conclusion, it's about balance. You prepare for the worst, but you also put out intentions for the best. You don't hope for the best. You work towards things being better for you. You use the internet to output information while you can. You archive your work, your written work. You understand that the written word isn't going away. It'll continue to exist, and it can exist through the printing press, through paper, through books, publishing a work of literature, information, nonfiction, instructional, publishing it before the collapse, and getting it into the hands of the people that may need that survival or other philosophical or spiritual piece of information. This is the task that I face. I need to put my stuff into words and publish it. I need to have friends or viewers that are capable of speaking multiple languages assist me in translating my words into written in foreign languages. That's volunteer help that I can use. That's ways that we can do the right thing, and you can cultivate your own message or support those. Share the message of those that you support. But it's not going to exist this way forever. And they can turn it off and bring it back, just like starting and launching a war or an economic collapse to create some sort of order ab chaos, problem, reaction, solution. Be it a false flag cyber attack or something else. Create the problem and they offer the solution. More cybersecurity. Give everybody an ID. Certain things. Break up the web then. Decentralize it. Have this over here, but it comes with a cost. The security comes with a cost. A similar theme that we have faced. So take my advice. Get prepared. But also use the internet to the best of your ability and be able to foresee clearer than ever why there could be certain crises that they could bring about right away in this country where the troops are dispatched. And then of course that event leads to other things, because martial law leads to foreign occupation of the United States, I believe, by Chinese and Russian forces. Okay, that may be offering a new banking solution. Here, take this microchip. Here, sign on right over here to our new government. Don't be an enemy of the state, but sign on to this new order that we're proposing. Because on a larger scale, I do believe that they intend to rebuild a new infrastructure, smart grid infrastructure, flying cars, flying vehicles, things at the next level, once the old infrastructure by design is taken out. And notice Obama in the executive order over space weather. The threat of a solar flare taking out the sun is not taking out the Earth's power grid through the Earth's weakening magnetic field, which is caused by changes in the Earth's core. It's not just the sun, it's the Earth's core weakening the Earth's magnetic field. Smaller solar flares are now more effective, as we're more dependent on ever on satellites and everything else. And I'm going out on satellite, this internet service, bringing you this message from off the grid. It's the only way I fly now. And so, throughout the entirety of the Obama administration, they had all this time to reinforce the power grid. They have had all this time to say nuclear power plants, you have enough fuel in case the power grid goes down so we don't go into meltdown. And they haven't done that. They've left all these people vulnerable. They're going to allow their Tower of Babel to collapse. So on one issue, what I'm explaining to you is very important. They are manipulating things to have their problem, reaction, and solution. On another issue, they are concerned about their Tower of Babel collapsing. And there's a reason why they have this. There's this elite obsession with going to Mars and going to the moon and getting off the planet. And it's connected with the solar cycle. It's connected with something they might be trying to get away from, or something that could threaten their technology, their they live styled mind control. Who knows? But it's very possible that the powers of nature are more powerful than the powers of the New World Order. And we will conclude this video with that.